Hi everyone, welcome to Cloud Computing. In this video, we'll show you how to get access to our Openstack Dashboard. We'll provide a link to the wiki available for everyone. The first step through this process is to provide Jason with your SSH key. You can email Jason at henn@bu.edu. After providing your SSH key to Jason, you can log into the SSH gateway with your BU username. Later, you will be given a password to log into our Openstack dashboard. The first step includes setting a local port number as the SSH proxy port. To do this, you can do it within any browser, but I'll show Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox. At the top right, you can customize and control Google Chrome and click on Settings. On the Settings page, go to the bottom of the page and click on Change Advanced Settings. Find the Network section and click on Change Proxy Settings. The network settings should pop up and you select Network Proxy. Select the method of manual. For the SSH host, type in localhost, and for the port at the side of localhost, type in a number greater than 1024. I'll choose port 5000 as example, and you apply system-wide. Type in your password and authenticate. If you only have Mozilla or Firefox, you can set a local port number as a SSH proxy port on Mozilla or Firefox instead. At the top right, you hit Customize and hit Preferences. Inside the Preferences, you select Advanced tab, and within the Advanced tab, you select Network, then hit the Settings button. Now you select Use Manual Proxy Configuration. At the side of SSH host, you type in localhost. And at the side of port, you select the number greater than 1024. I will choose 5000 as a port number example. Now you can hit OK. We'll use SSH Port Forwarding with our SSH port number to get access to the SSH gateway. First, you need to open up a terminal and type in SSH space dash capital D space the port number that we used with our BU username at 140.247.152.200 space dash capital N. That IP address is the SSH gateway's IP, and you hit enter. You need to make sure that this terminal is on while you access the dashboard. Keep that terminal running and open a new web browser. Inside the web URL, type in the following IP address: 140.247.152.207. This IP address is the Red Hat Openstack Dashboard IP address. Now if it doesn't load immediately, you should try to restart your web browser. Fill in your username and password as you were given to sign in to the dashboard. The first thing you see is the overall summary, which contains details about the instances you have running. But the first thing we want to do on the dashboard is go to Access and Security. First thing you see are security groups. At the side of the security group called Default, you want to click on Manage Rules. We'll be adding a rule for SSH Port 22. So click on the Add Rule button. Underneath the Add Rule settings, you can leave everything by default except for the port number. The port number we want to be 22. After typing in 22, you can hit the blue button to add the rule. Secondly, we want to go to Access and Security yet again to customize key pairs. Go to Access and Security and click on the Key Pairs tab underneath Access and Security. There are two ways to create key pairs. You can create a new key pair or import an existing key pair. We'll show both options. First of all, creating a key pair, you click that button and type in a key pair name. I'll type in my name -cloud. After typing your key pair name, you can click on the blue button to create the key pair. You can save it anywhere you want, but I'll save it to my desktop. And then you just hit save. Now after saving your key, you want to open the terminal yet again, open a new tab, and change directory to the folder that you have your key in. Now we want to move our key to our home directory inside the folder .ssh. So I type in move my key name and inside the folder .ssh inside my home directory, and now I change the directory in my home folder inside .ssh. I use chmod 400 to my key pair to change the permissions to make it only readable by myself. Alternatively, you have the option of importing a pre-existing key pair. If you go underneath Access and Security and hit the button for Import Key Pair, it gives you some instructions on the right side in which we'll walk you through. Open a new terminal, and you can generate this key pair on your computer. Type in the following command: SSH-Keygen space -t space RSA space -f space the name of the key. I'll call it myname.cloud.key, and you can hit enter. You can leave a passphrase for this public-private RSA key pair, but I'll leave it empty and enter twice. Now it generates a key pair within the .ssh directory inside your home directory, and you can see that my key pair is inside. Now you want to use a note editor and open up the public key, which has the .pub extension. Copy all the contents of the public key and go back to the web browser. Enter a key pair name. In this case, I'll give it my name and add cloud. For the public key, you want to paste all the contents of your public key from your computer to the public key text box, and you can hit the blue button to import that key pair. Now it's successfully added and imported that key pair. We want to add any SSH key that we've affiliated with Openstack Dashboard to the SSH-agent. To do that, open up a new terminal. Make sure that you're in the .ssh directory within your home directory. Type in eval, quote, $ parentheses, SSH-agent, space, -s, parentheses, close quote. Now, we'll use SSH-add, and we'll add each of the key pair names. For me, I have two key pair names affiliated with the Openstack Dashboard. So first, you want to add the dot key, not the public key. And then I'll add my second key that I've created affiliated with the Openstack Dashboard, which was myname-cloud.pem. And then you can do SSH-add space -l to list all the keys added to the SSH-agent. For Openstack, you need to create a private network. Inside the dashboard, go to Network tab and go to Network Topology. You should only have PubNet 1. Go to Networks, and you can create a new network by clicking on Create Network button. You can give your network a name. I'll name my network internal-net-my-name. Afterwards, you can click on Subnet at the top, and you can give your subnet a name and a network address. I'll give the name subnet-myname and the network address 192.168.100.0/24. Afterwards, you can click on Subnet Detail. You can leave the rest by default over here. Make sure that Enable DHCP is checked, and you hit Create. Afterwards, you want to click on Routers. You can create a new router by clicking on the Create Router button. You can give your router a name. I'll name my router router-myname and create router. Now you want to hit Set Gateway next to the router that you just created. Select the external network pubnet 1 and set the gateway. Afterwards, click on the light blue name of your router. It brings you to router details, and underneath you can hit Add Interface to add the interface. For the subnet, you want to select the subnet that you just created, which in my case I had named it internal-net my name, and then you just add the interface. Now if we go to network topology, we'll see that the network topology shows that pubnet 1 is now connected to the network and router that we had just created. Finally, we can get started in creating a VM on Openstack. You can go to Compute, and underneath that, go to Instances. Inside Instances, you can see a list of instances currently running, of which we have none. Go to Images. Underneath Images, you can see a list of images that we currently hold on the Red Hat OpenStack dashboard. From this list, we'll use Ubuntu 14.04 AMD 64 as an example, and at the right of that, we'll hit the Launch button. We can customize different settings for the instance. We can give a name for the instance. I'll give it a name, my name. You can select different flavors for the instance. These different flavors contain different amounts of vCPUs, total disk, and RAM. We'll select m1.small. You can select an image name from the list of images that we have, but we're going to use Ubuntu 14.04. Go to the top and hit Access and Security, and you can select a key pair that you want to use to access this instance, which I'm going to use myname-cloud. For the network, you want to use the available network that you had just created in the previous step. For me, it was internal-net-we-leave. In post creation, you can give a customizable script, but we'll skip that. In advanced options, you should just select automatic and you can launch the instance. Now it'll bring you to the Instances tab, of which it'll start saying underneath Task that it is currently spawning this instance. You'll just have to wait a couple of minutes before the instance spawns. After the instance spawns, you'll see underneath Power State that the instance is running. What we want to do now is go to More and associate floating IP. Now, next to IP addresses, you might see no IP addresses available. You can hit the plus button. The port to be associated, you should select the one that is given. Hit that plus button and allocate floating IP. Allocate IP and hit that button, and it gives you an IP, and you can hit the blue button to associate. Now our instance has a floating IP and it's given underneath the IP address. Finally, we can get access to our instance. Underneath the IP address section, copy the floating IP that you've associated with this instance. Also, keep in mind what key pair you have that grants access to this instance. Open a new terminal and list all the SSH keys that are part of SSH-agent. Type in SSH-add space -L. If you don't see the SSH key that you associated with your instance, then you need to add it to the SSH-agent. Type in SSH-add, and inside the home directory and inside the .ssh folder, find the key pair that you've associated with your instance. After it's added, you can use SSH tunneling by typing SSH space -L space 2222 : paste in the target machine, which in this case is the instance, :22 space our BU username at the SSH gateway, which IP is 140.247.152.200 space -N, enter. Now open a new terminal, and with this SSH tunneling still open, you can SSH-p space 2222 space Ubuntu at localhost. For Ubuntu machines, the default username is Ubuntu, and we're granted access to our instance. Congrats, you've successfully accessed your VM on OpenStack Dashboard.